Hi, Ghosties. I'm Macy.
And I'm Natalie.
And as most of you know, we have mountains of stories that we've collected from all of you over the last couple of years. And we also have a Patreon. And so we thought it would be fun to have a tea party where we tell our listener stories, all from our patrons. So last month, we told them to go ahead and send in their stories, and we'd set them aside and give them a little boost in the priority. And these are their stories. Well, some of them, because we'll have to do this again. There were quite a few.
Okay, well, I'm excited.
So this is Patreon Listener Stories Part 1.
Yeah, I love interacting with people on Patreon.
Yeah.
And I already know that this is about to be a good one.
Good one.
Is it a good one?
It's fun, yeah.
Okay, well.
So with that being said, if you have a story you'd like to send us, you can send them to ghostiespod@gmail.com. It's written in our description if you need to see it written out. Also, if you want to join our Patreon, it's patreon.com/ghosties, and maybe your story will get a little priority too. All of that said, our tea today is Harney & Sons Blueberry Green Tea. I know a few of you have this one because I've seen you commented, so pull it out and let's drink it together because it smells really good.
I'm very excited. I want this as an air freshener, as a wax melt.
I said that it should be like a potpourri.
Okay. I'm ready.
So good.
Let's go.
Super hot, but it tastes like it smells.
It's really good.
So good.
I'm with this one. Did someone send this or did we buy this one?
I think we might have bought this one.
Okay, well, either way, I'm a fan.
Okay, just to get started, our first story is from Jillian. Hi, Ghosties Pod. My name is Jillian. I love hearing all of the stories from other subscribers. It definitely makes me feel a lot better about my own experiences. I give you permission to share my story if you would like to. I've always had some kind of paranormal experience for as long as I can remember. For some background, my family has always had these experiences as well. I've heard many stories, mostly from my grandmother, telling me about raising my dad, who has had some of the craziest encounters I've heard so far. A few of them were while my dad, as a child, would walk down the stairs well after he had been put to bed. My grandmother has had this house for a long time, but the stairs went up a wall, and about halfway down them, it opened into the living room, so you can see when someone is coming down the stairs. At the end of the stairs, in a corner of the room, there was a small landing and only one step down until you were into the living room. But my dad would stop on the landing and stand in the corner. My grandmother would ask what he needed or why he was awake. She has never been very scared of ghosts or spirits. She is religious, and we had a priest in the family, so she was very secure in the fact that she was safe from those things no matter what experiences she had. Anyway, my dad, who's standing in the corner, would mumble in a low voice that was too low to be his, as he was a child and did not have a deeper voice at the time. Or in another instance, he would wake up at night and wail for his mom. She would come into his room asking what happened, and he would tell her that there was a black horse outside his bedroom door with red eyes. She would ask if he was scared of this, but he would calmly tell her that he was not scared because it was too big to fit through the doorway. I guess that's logical.
I guess, but
so creepy.
Isn't like a black horse? It's a thing, right? Like a black horse and red eyes. I feel like that's
A thing?
scene.
Maybe.
I don't know.
It might be. If you can think of it, let me know.
It's in movies and stuff a lot.
Like the Headless Horseman.
No, I don't know, but I can see it in my eyes. I
In your
can
mind's
see
eye?
it in my mind.
My grandmother would always call her brother-in-law, who was a priest, to come and cleanse the house. Now that my father is in his late 40s, he has always had strange experiences that don't bother him anymore. It became a normal part of his day, and when others see things like this at work and report it to him, he tells them that it's okay, they are just watching and won't hurt you. Where he works, there have been a few deaths in the past. Everyone trusts what he said because he takes his coworkers' safety very seriously. Getting back on the original topic, when I was a child, as far back as I can remember, I've always had some kind of paranormal experience. Whether it's seeing dark figures out of the corner of my eye or nightmares that seem all too real. When I was around 6 years old and in bed one night, I remember waking up out of a dead sleep and feeling like I wasn't alone. I thought maybe it was my mom checking on me or someone in the kitchen that was right outside my door. I sat up to see, and I looked to the far end of my room where my door was. It was in the middle of that wall, and I always kept my door open, which made that corner behind the door slightly darker than the rest of the room. That night, in that corner, I saw a young girl, probably around my age at the time. I remember her dark hair around shoulder length and straight. The dress she was wearing was gray and slightly tattered. I know I didn't feel nervous or scared by her presence. Being young, I didn't think too much about any repercussions and asked what she was doing in my room. She answered that she wanted someone to play with, and she was gentle. At the time, I didn't know what gentle meant, so I had assumed that was her name. Her voice was soft and not threatening. She said that she wanted me to go play with her in the woods behind my house and that she would keep me safe. That is when I felt uneasy and knew this wasn't right. I knew I should do something to get her to leave, but also not make her angry. I told her I would ask my mom, but it would have to be when she wakes up in the morning. She seemed satisfied with that answer. I don't remember her leaving or me falling back to sleep, and the next morning I told my mom what had happened. She kind of shrugged it off and told me it was a dream and not to worry. I now know that she had only said this so I would not be scared, but she had called a priest to cleanse my room because she didn't want to take any chances. Now, I would have definitely just also said it was probably a dream because at the time, all my dreams were very vivid and felt very real. But there's one thing I can't debunk. My brother, who has special needs and has a very childlike mentality, would tell us shortly after my experience that he had a new imaginary friend named Gentle.
Shut up.
This shook my family when he would talk about it, mostly because he said she did not like me at all. I hadn't seen that presence again, but my brother would pull my hair or insult me, which was very unlike him, and these things had only started after his imaginary friend had started. My mom had done some research and found out that a very long time ago, there had been a fire on the property that had burned down a house with a family who had a daughter. Only about 10 years later did my brother stop seeing his imaginary friend, Gentle. I still see shadows and hear things banging around my house and at my work. My family said we are sensitive to those things, and that's been what they call me and my dad and a few others in the family who also have had these experiences. One of the ways we get these things to stop is to tell them they are not welcome here and need to leave, or they need to find God and move on. It works most of the time. I have plenty more stories like this. If you want some more, I would be happy to share. I love your channel and recommend it to all my friends who like spooky things too. Jillian.
Thank you. What the heck? Okay.
They need to play in the house behind the woods, they need to play in the woods behind the house.
That, I was gonna say, like, okay. I was skeptical.
Like, grab a toy and play with Gentle.
No, I was skeptical, but then, like, when you said Gentle, I was like, maybe the woods. No, evil, done. But it's so weird that instead of completely going away, it was like, I'm just gonna go to the brother. I hate that.
Okay, so could it be the daughter, and that the reason that she's sticking around is because that's just like, her home?
But
her area?
But why is she being, like, weird?
Okay, I don't know, because Jillian didn't give her what she wanted. She wanted Jillian to play with her, and instead, Jillian was like, I'm gonna tell my mom, and then the mom cleansed the room. So, like, maybe Jillian can't get into the room anymore.
But why does she want her to go play
and
in
so she
the
feels
woods?
rejected? Yeah, that, I don't know. I just got chills down the right side of my face. That freaked me out.
I don't trust it.
The woods, maybe benefit of the doubt for this gentle spirit. Maybe the woods was just a place that they played often as a child. And that's where, like, a lot of their memories are. But also, no, I don't like it. I don't like it.
No, because it's nighttime. We're not going outside to play.
You know what? I don't think we've told this story yet on the pod, but it's coming. Of a listener who, like, was led out into the woods at night.
Oh my God. Yeah, that one's gross. That
so
one's
that's
coming.
kind of what it made me think of. Thank you, Jillian, for sending that in. And yes, please do send more. Our next story comes from Locke. Hello, my name is Locke, and I have been listening to your podcast religiously for over a year now for my weekly dose of the supernatural. I've turned a lot of people your way due to the seamless relatability and comfort that I get from your episodes. Your genuine reactions, comments, and banter are top tier. And to the fans, these are some of the best stories and accounts I've ever heard. The community you guys cultivate is something I'm proud to be a part of. I can even look past you being from Texas as a die-hard OU fan.
That's crazy.
We appreciate you.
I was going to say thank you, but how dare you? Hey, I have an OU shirt.
You do?
I wore it on the pod several months ago. Maybe I'll wear it on the next episode. All the people were like, are you guys from Oklahoma? No.
Thank you for recommending us, because that is the best way for us to, get out there and have a little boost.
Yeah. And I love when people say that they talk about it with their friends or their...
makes me feel so happy.
My favorite is siblings.
Because I know me and you listen to a few of the same podcasts, yes. And every time it comes out, I'm like, hey, have you heard the new episode?
I've called you several times about 2 hot takes. I'm like,
yeah.
Did you hear this story? Oh my God.
Yeah. That was the one that was in my mind, was 2 hot takes.
Yeah. That's my favorite one that we have in common.
Anyways, to the ghosts. I have 2 stories that happened in the same house that I genuinely believe was haunted. I'm gonna start with a quick one and then to the more weird one. Enjoy. To start off, my great-grandma passed away when I was young. I was told we were very close, but sadly, I do not remember all that much due to my young age. As I said earlier, my name is Locke, but my birth name is Lachlan. My great-grandma, Grandma Smith, if you will, hated my name. My middle name is Catherine, so she ended up calling me that. No one besides her called me that except for my Aunt Kay. One day, I was in the shower in between getting off from school and going to work, and then I heard Catherine come from the other side of the door. Washing my hair, soap in my eyes, clothes on the floor, I was my most vulnerable. I yelled back in response, "Yeah?" Waited a few seconds, and nothing. I thought maybe I was hearing things, but when I thought back on it, the voice did sound oddly familiar, but I couldn't quite put my finger on it. The only person it could have been was my Aunt Kay, and last I knew, she wasn't here. I hurried out of the shower and quickly opened the door, yelling into a quiet house. My mom had gotten home while I was in the shower, so she peeked her head around the wall and yelled back, "What are you yelling about?" "Did you just come to the door and say Catherine?" She looked at me with a blank face for a second before squinting her eyes. "No, I didn't. I hardly call you that. Only Aunt Kay does." "I know. Is she here?" My mom seemed to get over the fact that I was yelling in the house whenever she realized I was genuinely asking. I don't know if it was how I was looking at her or just the fact that I was letting water drip all over the floor as I waited for her response. "No, Kay is not here. I didn't yell either, although, you know, the only person that called you that was..." "Yeah, I know, Grandma Smith." I shook my head and shrugged my shoulders. It was a weird coincidence, but I genuinely believed, hey, it was odd, but it literally could have been anything. Because yes, I am a believer, but at the same time, brains are weird and we try to fill in gaps where there are none to be filled.
That's a very good point.
But I swear, I got back in the shower to wash my hair, and the moment I closed my eyes, I heard just faintly, as if it was whispering in the bathroom with me, "Catherine." I quickly yanked the curtain back, but saw nothing. That was the one and only time I believe I heard my great-grandma's voice, or something that was using it.
No.
It was like almost like, "Oh, it's great-grandma," until the end. They were like, or something using it.
See, okay, what is happening? I'm liking them, and then there's that one detail. It's like, nope,
It
I'm
just,
good.
it feels wrong.
I'm good. First it was the woods, now it's whispering after. No, because it heard you.
Whispering in the shower.
It heard you asking like, oh, well, that's weird. And then it's just letting you know, no, I'm here.
It's for real.
I'm here.
Because I'm the same way as Locke.
Me too.
I'll try to rationalize it in my brain, even though in the back of my mind, I'm like, oh, that's definitely a ghost.
No, you go ghost and then rational.
No.
I go
yes.
rational
I go
first.
ghost first, but I always try to rationalize it. Like,
Yes.
okay, what, maybe it was pareidolia. Maybe I'm just making a face where there's just a shadow, or maybe I am hearing something, or maybe it was like a hypnagogic hallucination or something.
Yeah.
That's what my brain always goes, or tries to take me.
Tries.
One day I got home from school and my mom was in the kitchen cooking. My 4 brothers were being loud and generally being a bunch of pains from the moment I walked in. I could hear them from their back room all the way in the kitchen. My mom yelled at my brothers to stop fighting, get off the game, and go outside. I tried not to laugh as I watched all 4 of them walk by, crestfallen with utter disappointment about the fact they had to go play outside. A little time goes by and my mom and I are talking in the kitchen, and somehow, some way, we bring up the topic of Alvin and the Chipmunks. My younger brother was obsessed with the movies when we were younger, and if you know the movies, Dave always yells, "Alvin!" And my brother picked it up at a young age. All of a sudden, right after we brought up the topic, we heard my brother yell from the back, "Alvin!" We laughed and everything for a second, then my mom yelled his name, thinking he had come through the house without us noticing, and went back to the room. When he didn't answer her, my mom dropped her hands from whatever ingredient she was cutting for dinner and pointed me to the back. "Didn't I tell that boy to go outside?" And so I went. I barged into his room expecting him to be in there, but nothing. The gaming console and its controllers were strewn across the ground with toys to go along with it, but no one was there. Now, as I said, I was interested in the supernatural at this time, but I didn't know what a mimic was. It was broad daylight outside, so the thought of a ghost didn't even cross my mind. I just figured he's hiding, trying to scare me. So I went from room to room, checking under beds and in closets, even went to my mom's room and checked hers, but nothing. I was genuinely confused. I came back in there to my mom and said, "He's not back there." Bull crap. We both heard him. I swear I looked everywhere. He's not there. This was about the time where I started thinking, what if it's a ghost? We've had multiple experiences and bad vibes around the house, but nothing in stone. My mom and I just kind of looked at each other, silently asking, we both heard him, right? And a moment later, Justin came through and we both snapped our heads to him. He came inside and put his hands up. "I just came in for a drink of water."
What? That's it?
That's it. For that one.
Oh my God.
The thing that got me like really spooked about that story, it was listening. It was listening to
Yep.
their conversation
Uh-huh.
about Alvin and the Chipmunks.
What a strange thing to yell.
I know, right?
Like,
Well, like we've said, like mimics are just listening and learning everything you do. So if the little brother's doing that all the time, it makes sense. But the fact that it did it as they were talking about it, it's like it is listening. It is smart enough to know when in like the context to
Yes.
use the word.
yes.
It's like when a little kid cusses and you're like, how do they learn to use it in that context, you know? It's like that. Quick story number 3. My friends were trying to push into my room, and as I didn't want anyone in there, I was holding the door closed. We were all laughing and joking around, but suddenly we all snapped our heads to the left when we heard the telltale sound of my brother's door creaking open. We all looked for a moment, knowing for a fact the house was empty, before looking back to everyone else and shoving our way back down the hall towards my living room. Needless to say, they didn't stay much longer.
No.
Not necessarily a story, but a quick tidbit. My girlfriend and I had to sleep on the couch in the living room when she stayed over, and unknowingly to me, she would wake up with sleep paralysis on most nights. She would be forced to stare down our dark, long hallway while I slept beside her. It was always around 3 a.m. I didn't know for the longest time, and when I found out it had been going on, I was very upset. But she just told me that she really enjoyed sleeping over and wouldn't let it stop her. Lovely, I know, but girl, self-preservation. She had never had sleep paralysis before, nor anything like that since, but yes, I believe the house was genuinely haunted. Thank you for reading. I'm sorry if it is too long, but I've been wanting to put in forever and never got the courage. Anyway, thank you so much for the podcast and can't wait to hear this on the pod.
Locke, your house was haunted.
Dude,
Do y'all still have this house?
investigation time.
I need to know, like, do they experience things too? Anybody still living there? Do any of your siblings still live there? I need more information.
Yeah. And that last little tidbit just cements in my mind that sleep paralysis has something to do with the paranormal. You know, like I go back and forth so much, but there's so many stories like that where they never had any other experience anywhere else
I know.
except for this house that is known for haunted activity.
I know. I just can't put it in my brain that it is paranormal because I've had it before and I don't like that. I've had sleep paralysis like many, many, many times. I can't let my brain
Go there.
have it 100% that it is paranormal because I want to just be like, no, it's just, a misfire of something in the brain or sleep, I can't.
Okay.
But low-key, I do believe it.
Our next story comes from Luna and Noe. Hi, Macy and Natalie. We're Luna and Noe, and we are best friends who love to listen to the podcast. And after months, we decided to share some stories from Luna's childhood home, because frankly, some are insane and turned me, Noe, from an atheist skeptic into a spiritual believer. We had it all, and we'll share from tame to crazy instead of chronologically. And for context, most of these happened with multiple people seeing and experiencing them. It was to the point where anyone who visited had an experience because of how active it was, and not only at night, but in bright daylight. We had ghost cat, shadow people, voices, so many voices, being touched, objects moving, black mist and fog creatures, scratches, cold spots, growls, knock scratches on doors, actual apparitions. So first up for Macy, the history of the land. We live in southern Bavaria, a region that was very affected by World War II. We had labor camps, euthanasia in our hospitals and local mental institutions, factories for weaponry, etc., as well as mass migration from neighboring countries. Our part of the city is basically built by World War II refugees. Any older person who was alive during the war has heartbreaking stories of all the awful things that happened. So naturally, that might be part of why Luna's home was this haunted. Anyway, let us get into the stories. The most and only good spirit was a ghost cat. While Luna does have a big chubby white cat, there was often another furry presence. You could often hear it walk on the wooden floor or feel it jump onto the bed. It was mostly times where it could not have been Luna's cat, because she would be sleeping outside or worse, right next to us. However, it would never make us feel scared. It was just, oh, ghost cat is here. My then boyfriend, now husband, also had experienced her. One time he was feeling very unwell and went to lay down on Luna's bed. And one thing Luna's cat always does is come and lay with you if you felt sick or sad in any way. So he felt her jump up and got ready to cuddle her, only for no cat to be visible, where the bed was clearly dented. Another time, while Luna's parents were on vacation, all three of us stayed over with Luna for mental support, because no one would voluntarily be alone in that house. So hubby and I slept in her parents' bed while Luna and our other friend slept in hers. At night, we felt Luna's cat jump onto the bed, cuddle in, and sleep with us. only for Luna to tell us that her cat stayed with them the entire night and she had previously closed the door that led to that part of the home. So there was no way it could have been Luna's cat. Again, no bad vibes at all. Mostly comforting kitty vibes.
Okay, fine. I'm
That's
cool
fine.
with it.
That's okay.
We should have ended on that for the
I
whole
know.
the whole episode.
This is the end. Thank you for listening.
No, I love that everybody's so accepting of it because the ghost cat just wants to be loved.
Unfortunately, that was the only spirit we felt positively about. Something important about the layout is that Luna's room was by the entrance, kind of secluded from the rest of the home. Right next to her room was her bathroom and just the long hallway that led to the living room and kitchen. There were definitely the tamer things, those being shadow figures. One specific was one that was huge, but built like Slender Man and like a darker black within the already dark hallway going into the living room. It just sat there, on all fours, kind of crouched. Disgusting.
Stop.
We don't know if it moved because we just closed the door immediately and did not open it again until the next morning.
I would call the police. Did I ever tell you that when Slenderman happened, because that was like a creepypasta, right?
I think so, yeah.
I was like, what, 12?
Yeah, you
Something
were in
like
junior
that,
high, I
12,
think.
13. I thought, because I didn't know about all
You
that.
think it was real?
I thought Slenderman was like an urban legend thing that had always been around,
Mm.
and I had just found out about it like in the computer lab while we were playing Minecraft.
That's so scary.
I know. For a while, I was convinced
And we
he was
live out
real.
in the woods.
Yep.
You just like look out the window and expect Slender Man to be there.
I thought he was real. And then when I got a little older, I was like, wait a minute. So yeah.
Regardless, Slender Man is a little creepy. Most experiences were had by Luna initially, and I would try to rationalize them. So let us get into these. One time, I was sleeping over at Luna's place, as I did most weekends, and she was in the bathroom. Her bathroom had one of those doors that had a little window with that kind of wavy glass, so you could not fully see inside. It was roughly at the height of someone's head, and she usually had robes or towels hanging over it, so most of it was covered, and in the evening, beyond the door, was just the dark hallway. So she got ready for the night, and then came into the room, kind of pissed, being like, "Why did you do that? It is not funny." And I was confused, like, "What are you on about?" Prompted by my genuine confusion, her whole demeanor changed, and she went, "I saw someone press their face against the window, and I thought it was you." What makes it worse is that I am, by default, sickly pale and had very dark hair, so you can imagine the visual. Sometimes she would also see someone walk by, which happened so often that she hung towels, pants, and robes to fully cover the window so she could simply not see it anymore.
Wallpaper, plywood, something,
Anything.
covered. Our
Aluminum
mom,
foil.
that happened to our mom.
What?
Every time I tell you this story, you act like it's the first time
Oh.
you've heard it.
Maybe
Every
I like leave it out of my
Single-
mind.
I think I've told it on the pod.
Okay,
and you're
well, tell me
still
again.
shocked.
Tell me again. What are you talking about?
The genuine confusion on your face. Our mom, because her bathroom has two little windows like that with the wavy glass.
Yeah, but it's outside.
Yeah, they're thin and it leads to the outside. And one night she was getting out of the shower and she screamed. And we were like, what? She was like, someone was outside. And our dad went out there with a gun because he was like looking around and no one was out there. But someone was pressed up against the window. Why are you shocked? You've heard this story.
I don't remember this
like
story, and
5
that
times.
just made me so sick.
Call mom. After this, we'll call mom.
Okay, call mom on the pod.
Like, because I was always scared to take a shower in there after that.
What year was this?
Like
Did I live there or no? I don't think I would have been living there.
it was when one of our cousins was living there. He
Yeah,
lived
I
there
didn't
for
live
just
there,
a
I
little
don't
bit.
think.
No, I don't think you did. I think I was in.
I don't like that at all.
No, I think you lived there. Because he lived with us when he was in high school and I wasn't in high school at the same time as him. You were there. You lived there and you've heard this story a million times. So in 6 months from now, I'm going to tell you the story again and see if you're still shocked. Because you know the story.
Ew.
Okay.
Okay, anyway. Ew.
So this one is personally horrifying for me.
Well, at least it wasn't inside the house like this one was.
Yeah, no, that's horrifying. And then the pale
Sickly
with the dark
pale
hair.
with dark hair.
Why is it always that? Justice for the pale people with dark hair. That's like kind of sad. It's kind of messed up. That it's always pale with dark hair.
Another time, I was in the bathroom and Luna was in her room alone, going through her closet. And as I walked in, she turned around and went, "Wait, did you not just walk in?" Which I had not. And basically, someone went, "Do you have a headscarf?" next to Luna in a whispered tone. She did not necessarily question it, and she did have one, as her parents are Orthodox Christians, and needed one for church. Yeah, it was definitely not me.
Why does it need a headscarf?
Why is it asking?
I don't know.
There were many times when she would be touched by cold spots with all windows closed, etc. And it would not even be a general cold area of the room, more like just as if someone with ice cold hands touched a certain part of her body, usually her shoulders or thighs, which gives weirdo. It would also happen when she was happy and listening to music and would make her entire mood shift. Almost like it wanted her not to be
happy.
We would so often hear disembodied voices, and it would often be heard by multiple people to the point where it became normal. Another thing that just became normal, and I am warning you, it is nasty, was barefooted footsteps all throughout the day in random areas of the home. Beyond that, one of the crazier things was actual plates and glasses moving right before our eyes with 3 people in the room just staring at it in shock. Awful vibes only. Bare feet just like pitter-patter on the floor.
Nope, because I already have a thing about feet and dirty feet, and I am wearing socks 24/7.
Mm-hmm.
I hate the sound of people's feet. Oh, God.
Okay, we'll move on.
That and a gummy smile on my list of disgust.
Sorry.
If you don't know the gummy smile, that's
Way back
several
when.
months ago.
That might have been our first one.
I
And
don't think
also
so.
in our 100.
Yeah, it was a long time ago, but I'll never forget it.
So as I said, I was mostly rational about it, and the spirits/demon in the home decided to give me a private performance to convince me otherwise. I have chronic insomnia and have sleep paralysis regularly. So I am not a fan, but I'm also not afraid. I woke up in the middle of the night because I felt like someone was above me. I thought it must be Luna, so naturally I opened my eyes, kind of annoyed too, and instead of my best friend, above me was a pitch black cloud. It was moving within itself and just terrifying. The light from outside actually reflected on it as if it was solid. I was scared, yes, but told myself it was just sleep paralysis and pulled my blanket over my head. Except when I laid there and went, you cannot move during sleep paralysis. And then I became terrified. I stayed under the blanket until I could no longer hear or feel it, and then immediately reached for my phone to turn on the flashlight and wake Luna, who was, by the way, peacefully sleeping next to me. I never questioned her experiences ever again. Funnily, that also triggered a migraine that lasted 3 days and made me miss the family holiday. From there on, things got way worse and violent and scary.
Oh no, I'm not ready.
Luna would have scratches on her body, and not small ones, like really long ones. One of them being 3 scratches, kind of claw-like, on her butt. Yep, on her butt. So not only was the force evil, but also absolutely weird and inappropriate with a, at the time, 16-year-old. Not that I think a demon would care about that.
Ew.
Mm-mm.
I don't like this. It's usually on the back.
Yeah. One of the worst things were the growls. It definitely happened more than once, and twice it came from the area of Luna's desk that stood across from her bed. It happened while we were both in the room, and we just looked at each other like, WTF just happened. Or more like, yep, that actually happened. Whenever something did happen, we tried not to acknowledge it and never spoke of it inside the home. We always waited until we were outside the home to not rile it up or let it feed off of us. The one that always gave me chills when I think about it was in the summer when it was only Luna and me in the home because her parents were on vacation for 3 weeks. Her cat would usually want to be let outside, fully outside the home outside, at some point during the night. And usually Luna would get up, let her out, close the balcony door, then close the door of her bedroom because I refused to sleep with the door open. So because I did not like sleeping with the door open when her cat wanted out, but just into the rest of the home, we also closed the bedroom door and she would simply scratch on it when she wanted back in. I am a very light sleeper, so I would always wake up. That night, I heard the scratch and made to get up, only for Luna to hold onto my arm and go, "That is not her, she is outside." And we both felt dread. So we knew it was not Ghost Kitty, straight out of the horror movie. Also, Luna could sleep through an airplane starting next to her, so her waking up from me getting up is very out of character.
As you were saying that, my Alexa out there
Spoke.
alerted us that Ryan is home with the camera in the backyard. My whole body
That just freaked
just
me out
went
too.
so numb. I was already scared, but it was at the perfect time. Oh my God. Oh, I feel like I need to be electrocuted to wake up.
I can feel the dread within me
Yeah.
of Luna, like, that's not the cat. Don't move.
Oh my
Don't
God.
open the door.
See, I would know. Oh my God. Petey, when he is trying to get out or
Like
get
little
in, no,
No?
he punches the door, so
Oh.
I know when it's him, and he lets me know. He doesn't do a little light scratch. Both my dogs, they're aggressive. They're like,
Mhm.
let me in. So I know.
What's that meme? It's like, let me in.
That's literally them anytime they're anywhere and the door is shut. Oh, I don't know if it's just the story. I don't know if it's the story and that noise happening here.
Everything.
I'm numb.
So the worst room in terms of energy was the living room. Her cat would often just sit and stare into it, as if looking at someone. It was always cold in there, and you would just instantly feel odd. Even in my skeptic era, I felt uncomfortable there. It would genuinely make the hairs on the back of your neck stand when you walked past. It got to the point where we would just close the door and leave it closed. And again, many shadowy people there. Her cat regularly reacted to whatever was inside the home, reacting to voices, steps, movement, which makes it so much worse because humans, we might imagine it, but hearing a voice behind you and the cat reacting to it made it so real and terrifying. So you might go, I would move or get the home blessed, etc. And they did. However, the first few blessings did nothing to improve it. After the first one, it honestly got worse, as if a priest or the blessing pissed the entity off. Eventually, it began to weigh on everyone, and it began to weigh on Luna so much, she went to her parents and begged them to call another priest because she would just dread going home because it felt suffocating to be inside. It was pure desperation, and Luna is not even religious, and still really wanted the blessing. Feels weird in retrospect, we don't know. Their priest drove over an hour to come and bless every room thoroughly, praying, holy water, anointing the rooms. Literally everything short of an exorcism. Since then, it all calmed down and Luna moved out for university. It still has an odd aura at times, but nothing actually happens anymore. Knock on wood. We still have many more stories, like my little brother remembering that he was my late grandfather, whom he never met, which I now have written into my Patreon chat. Stories from Luna's parents, awful nightmares inside the home there with me in real life, biting myself until I bled while I was asleep. And also my husband's house, that was also haunted in a terrifying way, and moving into our new home only for it to also be haunted. So if we should share those, let us know. I will definitely never again be a skeptic or think there are no things beyond what we know or can comprehend. We love your pod so much. Keep up the good work. Luna, my husband, and I often take road trips and always listen to and re-listen to your episodes. And we are team Let PD into the room, by the way. Much, much love and good energy, Luna and Noe.
Aw. So the answer to that problem is burn it.
Well, at least it's not as bad anymore. As bad. They did what we say though. Like, call a professional.
Yeah.
Call someone who can help.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like we hear a lot, or at least I do. I don't know if we talk about it a lot, but when you get a house blessed or someone comes in to cleanse or do some kind of like clearing out, sometimes if the entity is strong enough, like within,
The activity
it'll ramp up like it's mad.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and I hate that because what else is the answer?
I don't know. I guess continue on. That's what a lot of exorcists say. Like
Just keep
exorcism,
doing it?
sometimes, yeah, it'll just like make it matter, and you just have to keep doing it until it goes away. That's a lot.
That's a lot.
And I do want to hear more, because like, why are you biting yourself till you bleed in your sleep?
That's sick. That's so scary. Like I grind
like
my
it.
teeth in my sleep, but I've never like
Bitten yourself?
taken a bite out of my skin.
Ew, okay.
Ooh.
Our next story is from Aether. So this is a strange dream that they had, and I would like to know what we, the royal we, think,
Okay.
because it intrigued me. Hi, I go by Aether. I love watching and listening to your videos. I love the vibe you guys have, and listening to it while I draw is always so fun. Now, on to the dream. I don't remember a lot of it, but someone I think I knew in the dream owned a haunted object, probably a doll, at their house. Someone would drop me and my siblings off there a lot. My siblings would mess around with this object, which was kept in a room on the second floor, but nothing happened to me. However, I always had a really bad feeling about this object. The second time we were dropped off, my older cousin, who was looking after us, saw I was scared of this object, so they took me and my siblings out on a drive. I think we went skating at one point, but I didn't experience that part, and I'm going off of feeling. The dream skipped to the next time we were dropped off at this house. This time, my siblings tried to get me to mess with this object. I remember I was so scared that I was pacing around the living room on the first floor before I walked outside because I started to have a panic attack in my dream. I guess the older cousin watching us noticed and walked out to comfort me. During that time, my siblings did something that really pissed off the object, and they ran out. Then my cousin lifted me onto the brick walk that separates and surrounds the house, and I was running along it. For some reason, the haunted object targeted me. While I was running, it bit into my entire shoulder. Then I woke up. I think this thing was planning to kill me in my dream. I have other dreams that I remember too. If you guys want to hear them, I hope you have an amazing day. And again, I love the videos, Aether.
Hate that. What is the object?
I want to know
Why?
if someone in their life actually has some kind of haunted object, knowingly or unknowingly.
Yes.
And have they interacted with it
Yes.
unknowingly?
That's what I was that's where I was headed.
And that's why it's visiting them in their dreams.
We need to know what the object is. Find it. Oh my god.
Because that was my first thought when I read that. Okay,
Mine
I'm glad
too.
we're on the same page.
We are 100%. There has to be some kind of something in their life.
Man, people who mess with haunted objects, like,
Matt Rife suddenly.
more power to you, but whoa, I don't think I could. Our next story comes from Kadence, aka Brat.
Ooh.
They have a really cool shop, so you should go check it out. We've gotten a few things from there.
Yeah, our little green guy that's usually on the set came from there.
Mm-hmm. Hi, Ghosty girls. My family had what we believe to be a genuinely paranormal experience yesterday, and my mom suggested I write to you too. Feel free to use this or not in a future pod, but I just thought you might have fun reading it either way. So, yesterday I was in my room when my mom suddenly called me to the living room and asked, "Were you just whispering?" I said no, and my mom asked, "Are you serious?" I swear to God, I said. Apparently, while she was in the kitchen, she heard some loud female-sounding whispering in the adjoining dining room. She thought my sister and I were not so secretly whispering, and she called out, "Who's whispering?" To which my sister in the living room on the other side of the dining room replied, "I thought it was you." I hadn't heard any of this, so I was surprised when they called me out, and I got chills when they told me what happened. My mom said the only words she could make out in the whispering was something that sounded like guys, and the whispering was more faint to my sister in the living room. I started to be worried that I had been whispering out loud to myself in my room and didn't realize it, but now that I think about it, my sister was closer to my room than my mom, so that kind of rules that out. We did multiple tests with me in my room and my mom and my sister in the same places, and they couldn't hear me whispering, so I really don't think it was me and I just didn't remember. But it's still hard to believe we truly had a ghostly experience, even though I'm a believer in ghosts. Anywho, I feel pretty disappointed that I didn't get to share in the experience. Maybe the ghost will make itself known again. And there is an update.
Oh no. Okay.
I think I might have heard the ghost voice a few days ago. I was at my desk in my room with my back to my open door, which opens onto the hallway and leads to the bathroom. My mom was standing in the bathroom with the door open and made a comment about struggling to put a new roll of toilet paper in the holder. I laughed, and then I heard a sort of singular, heh, kind of laugh from the hallway, right in front of my door. It sounded just like my sister, so I assumed it was her, but I didn't see her when I looked. It turned out she was still in her bedroom. I still don't feel fully convinced it was a ghost, but I don't really know what it could be. I'm hoping for a full apparition next time. I don't know how much this matters, but my mom, my sister, and I have super similar sounding voices, to the point where it's not clear which one of us is on the phone, even to my maternal grandma. This possible ghost voice also seems to sound like us. Is there some way it's the spirit of a relative, or is it just one of the infinite creepier possibilities? Maybe I'll find out and live. Thank you for reading, and thank you for doing the pod. I love it. You two are just wonderful. Sending much love and positive vibes. Kadence.
I hope you live. Oh my god.
I think it's because we've talked about, like, what happens if you follow a mimic.
True. We also sound very similar. Sometimes when I'm listening to the pod, I can't tell who's talking.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, but if that was the case and I heard that in our house, I'd be like, "Ugh, it's one of them. It has to be."
They experimented. They were like,
Mhm.
okay, well, maybe, no, it was nothing.
I would never believe you. I would have to believe that you're a dirty little liar and I can never trust you again.
Part of me wants to, like, I don't know, give it a good vibe, give it a good, like, story. And, like, maybe it just wants to be involved too.
One of
Because,
the
like, all
girls.
three of them are just,
Yeah.
the same.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, me too.
And it said guys. Maybe it's like wanting to hang out with you guys.
Like, hey, guys.
Oh God. I hope.
Either way, I don't
But it doesn't.
like it.
Well, and like it laughed at the joke. Maybe it just wants to be included.
Yes.
Tell it can join. Like
No. Tell it to go away.
Well, they said they want
Okay.
to experience it.
With all the safety precautions possible.
So say, hey, if you're not gonna harm me,
If
can
you
come
are
hang
of
out.
light and love.
We're gonna watch a movie. Here's a spot. Maybe.
You need a little bowl of popcorn.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say too.
Our next story comes from Maria. Hi there, I found your podcast a month ago and have listened to it ever since. I wanted to send in my stories. I am 34 years old and have had many experiences. My family has also gone through some really scary stuff. I've had many experiences since I was very little. My first memory I have of something that I still to this day think about and have no explanation to is the face in the corner of my room. This one's very strange, and you'll see what I mean, but
Okay.
I have theories.
Okay.
I was 7 years old and was sleeping in my room for the first time. My family had never really had a lot of money, so we always lived in 1-bedroom apartments. And this was the first time that we were able to get a 2-bedroom apartment. I was on the 2nd floor and I was so happy. The very first night of my sleeping in my room, I was laying in bed with my eyes closed when out of nowhere I saw a bright light. You know how you can see when when there is light when your eyes are closed? So I remember that my eyes shot open. There was a red light in my room. I did not have anything that would give off a red light, and when I tried to move, I was not able to. So I scanned the room with my eyes. I was little, so I really wasn't scared. When I was scanning the room, I went from one corner to the next on the wall in front of my bed. When I got to the second corner, that's when I saw that the red light was coming from that corner. I stared at the light for a few minutes, trying to figure out what it was. I knew that it was nothing that was put on the wall, since I didn't have anything like pictures up there. I didn't even have a TV in the room. After a few minutes, I noticed that there was a face in the red light. That's when I started to feel scared. I don't know what it was about this face that scared me, but I couldn't look away. The face was looking at me with a really big, wide smile that literally went from one ear to the other. The eyes were like big baseballs, big, fully black. I remember laying there, not being able to move, scream, or even blink. It's like I was stuck looking at this face. After a few seconds of realizing I couldn't move or look away, I started to hear the door to the room open up, and I could hear walking in my room. Whatever opened the door was walking to my bed. Since we lived on the 2nd floor, you could hear whenever anybody was walking. I laid there when I started to feel like whatever walked in started to touch my arm, and then my leg. When I felt like something pricked my foot, I remembered that I flinched, and when I flinched, whatever was in the room ran out. The face was still there, looking at me with a straight face now. All of a sudden, I could blink my eyes. When I blinked and my eyes were open again, it was the morning. I laid there confused. I was only 7. I didn't know what that was. I was so confused with trying to figure out what had happened. Did I have a bad dream, or was it my imagination? So in thought that I didn't realize that I had not moved yet. My mom walked in and told me to get up so that we could go to the grocery store. When I tried to get up, I couldn't feel my legs. It was like I was paralyzed. I started to cry and told my mom I couldn't feel my legs. She did not believe me and told me to stop playing like that. I was not playing. She helped me get up, and when she let go, I dropped to the floor. Annoyed, she picked me up and said that we had to go to the store and I needed to stop making stuff up. She seriously thought that I just didn't want to walk that day, but I honestly could not walk. I was a really small child at 7 years old. I weighed about 35 pounds. I was tiny, still wearing toddler clothes. Even now, I'm only 4'11". Gained a lot of weight after having kids, but anyways. My mom carried me to the car and to the store. The whole day she carried me around, still thinking I was faking. Once we got home, I was taking off my shoes and socks when I noticed that there was a tiny red dot on my left toe. I checked my right toe, and it had a red dot of dried blood. I did not hurt myself that day, so I was confused. But being so little, I just wanted to forget what had happened that night. Once it was bedtime, I was scared to sleep again, but I had my own room now. I could not sleep with my parents. I remember it took a long time for me to fall asleep, but when I finally closed my eyes, I could see the red light through my eyelids again. I did not open my eyes. I could not muster the courage to do it. Eventually, I was able to fall asleep again, and when I woke up the next morning, I realized I could feel my legs again. I was so happy that I got up and ran to my mom's room and told her that I could walk again. She rolled her eyes and said, "You just wanted to act like a baby and have me carry you around yesterday." I left my mom's room and went back to mine. To this day, I don't know what happened those 2 nights, but I know that since then, really weird things started to happen to me. Anything from deja vu, dreams coming to reality, seeing and hearing stuff that was not there, the Hat Man, Angel, being haunted by a ghost that follows me, to most recently my abusive controlling ex's spirit always being around me. I have so many other experiences that I would love to share. Let me know if you'd like more. I always tell people my life is crazy, that it feels like I have lived the life of many people at once. Love you guys and hope that you use my experience on the podcast.
Aliens.
That is my exact thought.
Aliens.
And I didn't know if it was just because I was reading Mothman and all of that, but
Aliens.
that's what it feels like.
They
for sure.
experimented. I don't know what they did, but they did something
They
to
did a
you.
little prick and they're like, "Oh, dang it. We pressed the wrong button, pressed the wrong nerve," and had to come back the next day to like give you your leg function back.
I don't know what they were
So
doing.
weird.
That is,
Oh,
well, you had an alien encounter.
crazy, right?
Yeah. I have nothing else to add other than, wow, you encountered aliens. Good for you.
Hey Ghosties, this will be my second email of my experiences. This email will have a few stories. Like I mentioned in my first email, I've had a lot of experiences happen to me and my family. After I saw the face in the corner of my room, first email sent, I started to experience a lot more stuff that I, as a child, could not explain. I would have dreams that were simple but would later happen. One dream that I can remember is of me playing with my Barbies by my room window. When I looked down, I saw a man with a red shirt walking to a car. The next day, I was playing with my Barbies by my room window when I looked down and saw a man that I did not recognize with a red shirt walking to a car.
Who is he?
But the only difference is that the man looked up at me. He had a really big smile, ear to ear. I was so scared that I fell back and was scared to look out the window for weeks.
Red shirt,
Red.
big smile.
Yeah.
They're watching.
I had a connection in my mind too. I was like, there's something there.
They're watching.
Like they're continuing to observe their experiment.
Yes. Do we sound
So
crazy?
creepy. We might. I don't know. I feel crazy. But
I'm looking at you and now I'm realizing that I might sound crazy.
no, maybe. This is something that happened to my cousin, and I was told about it later. My cousin lived in a small town, the kind of town where everyone knows everyone. Well, I was told that my cousin was acting up. She was like 10, and she was not listening to her mom. She was so mean to her mom that her mom, my aunt, would end up crying. Well, this night, she storms out of the house at night around midnight. And as she's walking down the street to my grandma's house, my grandma lived down the street and one turn away. She was walking in the dimly lit road, and what she saw there was something small, like a little kid down the street. My cousin starts to get closer and asks the kid if it was lost. But when she got about 15 feet away, the whatever it was turned and looked at her. My cousin froze. The kid was not a kid. It had huge eyes and a big mouth with sharp teeth. My cousin started to walk backwards when the thing opened its mouth, and my cousin said that it looked like there was fire coming out of its mouth and eyes and started to run after her. My cousin said that she bolted back to her house, and when she ran in and slammed the door, my aunt could see that she was pale white. My cousin told her what happened, and a few minutes later, my aunt looked out the window and saw a little kid walking back down the street. After hearing this, I never went outside after dark when I visited.
No.
What could that even be?
I don't know what that is. I've never heard that before. Someone comment. Tell us. I
Like
don't
a
know.
demon?
I don't know. That's what you always think. I don't
Is that
know.
okay? Black-eyed kid? Is that what they really are?
But with fire? I've
I don't
never
know.
heard of that before.
My grandma's house was also very scary to be in, and when we visited, we would stay there. A lot of things about this house would scare me. One, when we had a party, everyone was outside when we started to hear a baby crying inside the house. No one had a baby at the time. Everyone froze and asked each other if we could hear the baby. Two, in the back room of the house where the washer and dryer were, my cousin had a doll that would sing Ring Around the Rosie, only if you held both hands at the same time. Well, it was broken and forgotten until my grandma and I were alone in the house and started to hear the doll singing. My grandma was like, maybe the doll's hands were being pressed down with boxes or something. But when she opened the door to the back room, it was just there, at the bottom of the stairs, nothing around it, still singing.
That just made my heart, actually skip a beat.
I was so scared that I started to cry. I was about 10 at the time. My grandma had no fear. That woman was always so calm. So she went down the stairs and grabbed the doll and said maybe the batteries were running low so the doll was malfunctioning. When she opens the back and sees that there are no batteries in the doll, she goes white and just drops the doll calmly, walks up to me and closes the door. She told me to just ignore it and it will stop. She started to read the Bible and grabbed holy water to put on the doll from upstairs. The doll stopped and it didn't sing again. Days later, the doll was in the trash and my grandma made sure that she was outside when the trash came and watched it go into the truck. Many more things happened in the house, especially towards the end of my grandma's death, but it is getting long and I still want to tell my Hat Man story. Once I got older and had my first child at 17, he's turning 18 this year, there was a lot of negative energy around us, especially after I had my second child at 19. Their dad was not a very nice guy and his mom was involved with black magic. And I believe that she did something or attached something to me because I've always felt like something is always with me. Anyway, I moved into my own apartment after I had to get a 5-year protective order. The lights to the kitchen would always go on and off, and there was always noise in the apartment that I would just say were the neighbors, but the noise was in the kitchen. I ended up being with another very bad man that was very abusive to me and my kids. So I ended up leaving and moving in with my parents. By this time, I had 3 kids. My daughter was born when I was 21. We got a 3-bedroom apartment so that me and the kids could have our own spaces. 2 rooms upstairs, mine and the kids, and my parents downstairs. I remember being really tired and the kids being in school. My daughter was with her father, and I wanted to take a nap before picking the littles up from school and going to work. I fell asleep in the living room on the couch. The couch was against the wall, but when sitting on it, you could see into my parents' room. So I lay down facing the back of the couch so that I was not facing my parents' room because it freaked me out. It was very dark in there. even though it was daytime. I was sleeping when I felt like someone was watching me from my parents' room. My eyes opened up and I felt fear, but I managed to slowly start to turn my face to my parents' room, and when I did, I saw him, the Hat Man. He was standing there, looking at me. The living room was lit up, and where he was standing was in between my parents' room and the living room, so light was on him, yet I could not see his face. He was like a dark shadow, but not a shadow at the same time. I froze and he was just standing there. I could move, so I know it was not sleep paralysis. He kept moving his head side to side like he was looking at me with curiosity. I felt like we stared at each other for hours, but it was not that long. I finally asked him if he was going to hurt me, and that's when I felt like he smiled. I could not see his face or anything, but I felt him smile somehow. He started to walk backwards into my mom's room again until I could no longer see him. I remember sitting there just wondering what had just happened. I eventually got up and slowly walked into my mom's room and turned on the light. There was no one there, and all the windows were locked. Since that day, I can see him in my peripheral vision, staring at me from a distance. When I turn to see if there is someone there never is. Now, sometimes when I'm at work, I can feel him touch my hair or even pull on my shirt. He wants me to turn around, and when I do, there's nothing there. I have so many other experiences that happened in this apartment, but this email is so long. Let me know if you want to hear any of the other stuff. From me seeing a kid ghost that called me mommy, my son seeing a man staring at me when I slept, my kids both seeing a clown in their room, my son being carried down the stairs by a lady in white, and a lot of other stuff that has happened to me. I hope my stories make it on the show, and let me know if you want to hear more. Keep doing this awesome work. I really enjoy hearing all the stories when I'm at work. Until next time, Ghosties. Thank you, Maria.
What?
A lady in white carrying your child down the stairs sounds so scary.
It could also be a nice lady. It could just be that she was like a nanny or a nurse or a mother.
I hope so.
Maybe she didn't want him to fall down the stairs.
The Hat Man?
No.
Just staring, smiling? No. Or, I don't know. I don't know.
No.
I don't like the Hat Man at all.
I can't. I cannot.
He freaks me out.
We need to do a deep dive. Like, you need to, like, go to the Vatican and read what's in there about the Hat Man.
like a whole dissertation on the Hat Man.
Yes. I need to know the origins. I need us to get to the bottom of who or what he is.
Yeah.
I'm disturbed.
Thank you for sharing that, Maria. You've disturbed us fully.
Yes.
And on to our last story. It's from Marth.
Oh, we know Marth.
We do know Marth.
Marth is on the Patreon chat.
I know like all these people.
Yeah, Marth is on the live a lot. Is Marth the one that was like really cracking us up?
Marthmello.
Yeah, cracking us up on the game chat.
I think so.
Yeah.
Hi, Ghosties. Love your podcast so much. My nickname is Marth, and I'm from an Inuk community in Nunavik, or northern Quebec, Canada. If you'll have me, I have a story from around the 2010s. I was probably 9 years old, and my cousin, In, was 7 or 8 years old. I also think it took place around June or July, which is the rainy season. One thing's for sure, though, it happened after my grandpa's death, and years after my second oldest sister's death. I'm so sorry for your loss. Our grandmother was living with one of our uncles. Sometimes he would have to fly to another town for work, and Grandma, not wanting to be home alone, would have In and I stay with her until he came back. I have some great memories of staying up late and chatting and giggling with In until Grandma scolded us for staying up late. One night, In and I were playing before sleep as usual and decided it was about time to sleep. A while later, we still hadn't fallen asleep and noticed a faint blue light in the hallway. It grew a little brighter, and after a few moments, it appeared in the doorway. A blue ball of light. We stared at it in silence and disbelief. It just floated there, maybe 1.5 feet above the floor. It didn't move, really freaked us out because we didn't know what we were looking at. Finally, I heard In whimper and hide under her blanket, so I did the same. I don't remember anything else, so we must have fallen asleep without any other issues. I've told the story in a comment on one of your videos, don't remember which one though. I still can't explain what we saw. I thought maybe it was ball lightning, but is that possible on a perfectly clear night? It also didn't make any noise or emit any odors. It was just standing there, menacingly.
Is that what they put?
They put SpongeBob reference.
Oh my god.
I don't think we told Grandma. Her house was always a little bit spooky. She wanted all the lights off for bedtime, not even a nightlight, and I've always been scared of the dark. In has had more paranormal experiences than me, like hearing footsteps, a spoon clinking in the kitchen in the middle of the night, and sleep paralysis at her own house. One night, we had a friend of Grandma's sleeping in the room with us, and she and I started laughing in our sleep. In was still awake. When she told me in the morning, she said our laughter went on, and that it sounded sinister. It really freaked me out. Anyway, I'm yapping. Thanks for reading. Love you girls, and stay cozy.
I've said it before. You have to wake them up with a swift punch.
Didn't we just talk about sinister laughter in the middle of the night?
I think so. And it is sick.
It's gross.
Don't let that happen around me.
No.
Cause I get freaked out when Ryan first wakes up. Like if I wake him up, cause he'll fully look at me and be like, "What? I'm awake."
You
And
do
he's
that.
not.
You do that.
I know, he tells me that all the time. I'm like, "Why didn't you wake me up?" He's like, "I did. You sat up."
You will sit up and say angrily, "I'm up.
I
I'm
know.
getting ready." And
I
you're like,
know.
"Okay." And you come back and you're asleep.
And I have no memory of it happening. It's very scary. I told Ryan, like, I'm not up until you see my feet on the floor and I'm standing up because...
No, that's not true either.
Is it?
When you were, yes, there were a couple of times where you would get up
Oh.
and you
well,
would just immediately like,
I have sleep problems. I don't know.
anyway, you never giggled in your sleep, which is
Thank God.
thankful. Yeah, I'm thankful for
Thankful?
that.
It is thankful.
It is thankful.
Oh, before we end, do we have a little P.O. box unboxing?
I forgot. Yeah, we do. Just a little one. It came with in the same
Haul
tranche as the Mothman.
Tranche. Okay, well, if you are not staying for the P.O. box haul,
Thank you. Subscribe, like, do all the things, share with your friends, and we will see you on Thursday.
and if you are, hi.
Okay, this one's from Raising Rooster. So let's see if there's a... Oh, there is a gift message.
Wait a minute. This one is for you.
That one's for me?
For you specifically.
Okay.
It says, "Happy birthday, Macy."
What?
Yeah.
Thank you. Oh, it's from Joe.
Oh,
Joe, you're awesome. Thank you so
Joe,
much. That's
you
so
have
kind.
to stop. What is it?
I don't
Open
know.
it.
Oh, it's an Amazon gift card.
Shut up.
That's so nice, Joe. Thank
Joe.
you. That was totally unnecessary. We did not...
Aw.
I did not need a birthday present, but I very much appreciate you. That's so kind.
And it
Thank
will
you.
be used. That's so sweet.
I have a few things in my cart right now, actually.
Aw.
Thank you, Joe. Okay, this one is from... Actually, I don't know because there's two of them. So you want to open one or... It's a mug!
This one has your name on
No.
it.
Okay, here you go.
Oh.
Look at the other side.
Who is this from? I'm literally about to start crying.
It says Ghosties with our little moon and stars.
and our names.
That is so sweet. That is so kind. That is so cute.
I'm literally about to start crying.
I feel like you. Like, how dare you? How dare you do this to us? This is so nice.
My
Thank you so much. If this was you, please let us know. Because there's no name. Natalie has actual tears.
I can't do this. This is so... And my name is spelled right.
Yay!
Oh my God.
That doesn't happen often.
It doesn't.
Thank you so much.
This one is from Kelly. And there are several things. And it says happy early Halloween. I thought it said happy birthday again. I was like, oh my God, it's for you. Okay. Shut up. Shut up.
What?
Shut up.
What?
It's cute stuff. Here, read the
Okay.
letter.
Macy and Natalie, I am a pre-K teacher here in NC, and I put together some little ghosts for my kids to adopt. I hope you both like your package of ghosts. Y'all
There's
are
a
the best.
birth
Happy early
certificate.
Halloween from Kelly. That is
Or an
cute.
adoption
Okay, you know what?
certificate.
I was like on Teacher Talk on YouTube actually,
You have one.
and they had like little class pets.
Yes.
This is so
Oh.
adorable. We're a part of your class.
It's a little floating ghost in the
Thank
jar.
you, Kelly.
Wait, there's more.
I
and
can't
there's
wait to name him.
it says certificate of adoption, the ghost's name, their birthday, and then I promise to love and care for my new pet ghost, and then a place for a signature.
That
Kelly,
is so cute. Kayla is a pre-K teacher, our sister.
she is.
I'm gonna tell her she's gonna have to do this.
Okay, and there's also more.
These are so cute. Did you make these?
Also,
What?
which one would you like? I kind of want this little guy down here.
Okay. Painted rocks. They so cute. They're like the perfect shape.
I love it. I love it. Oh my
I was just thinking
God.
about like making like a little tiny fairy garden,
And
like
this
in a
would-
thing.
This would be over to your side to put on your think. Okay, the dogs have joined. This little book reading ghost,
He'll be going on my laptop.
he's adorable. And there's also, it is a little ghost guy. It says Happy Halloween. It says, hey boo, this little ghosty is just for you. Keep him close, keep him snug, pick him up when you need a hug. You may not feel it, but it's there.
Let me see. Oh, that is cute.
Oh, there's another one in here. I don't know if it's the same thing.
I hope so because I want this.
Oh, and there's another sticker. Ah, it's the same thing, but a little ghost.
Mine's flying.
You want the flying one?
Or if you want that one, that's fine. I like my little witchy one.
It's okay. Mine has a little...
These are cute. Where did you get this?
Oh, and there's another sticker with a mug.
Perfect.
Wow. Oh my
These are
god.
so cute. Like, this is a bunch of just, like,
This is
cute
sick.
stuff.
This is sick.
So cute.
This is
Here.
disgusting, and I'm so upset with all of you.
Okay.
Okay, there's still more.
Yeah, we've got one box and this letter. It does not have a name on it, so... a little painting. Okay, that's cute. We have to frame that.
Shut up. I need to go get I'm gonna go buy a frame today.
Please do. You're going shopping after this, yeah?
I am.
Oh, that's from Molly. Thank you, Molly.
on it.
Petey's on there? Oh, Petey. And Merv. Merv's there. Thank you, Molly. We'll also tag Molly's Instagram. MFloodArt. Because that's cute. That's really good.
Everything is so personal.
How are y'all so talented?
Oh my god. Okay, there's one more big package. I'm trying not to drag this out and cry because I know that's annoying to just constantly be like, oh,
I know.
so
Some people have even
emotional.
said it's annoying when we cry. I'm trying to hold it in.
I know. Okay. One more.
Leave your suggestions in the comments for names for our little pet ghosts. Because that is so cute. That is so cute. A gift. Tell me... Wait, did we get the same thing, you think? Or you want to tell me what you got?
Okay, I'll tell you what I got while you're unwrapping. So, first and foremost, I love a hoodie and a sweater. From Leavenworth, Washington. I will be wearing this. Oh! It's Bigfoot. I cannot believe this.
That is cute.
It says Pacific Northwest and it's a little Bigfoot.
I love him.
That's so cute. Oh my god. Do you have a hoodie?
I also have a Leavenworth hoodie. Okay, also wearing this for the next episode. It's like Abbey Road, but of Bigfoot. Leavenworth. A Bigfoot keychain with an M on it.
That is so cute.
A little evil eye thing.
Oh, that's cute.
And then a bracelet. Pink, my favorite color. I'll wear this.
Love.
With our other bracelets.
Oh, I
too.
placed mine in here when I was digging through it. So there's also a
And
Bigfoot keychain with an N.
in.
The keychains. The keychains get me.
Okay, I'm gonna go to Leavenworth. Washington has been on my list like very much lately.
It's a Bigfoot sticker. It says, "If they ask, you never saw me."
That's cute.
Oh, there's tea.
Ooh,
Little
what's the
Village.
flavor?
It says Little Village tea and spice. Gingerbread. Rooibos. Rooibos.
I think.
Gingerbread. Love. And then there's like the thing to tell you how to brew their tea. And it came with a little scoop. Look at this. My bracelet is purple.
Nice.
Love that, by the
Very
way.
you.
Love that. I got a little... Oh, I'm going to put that in
got
my
one
car.
too.
I love it. I
Who
love
sent
it.
this?
There's a card. Oh, it's a postcard. Greetings from Leavenworth.
I love postcards. We got the one from McPike Mansion.
There's pictures of them.
Thank you for... Y'all are so cute.
That's cute. Wait, let me read the back. Oh my god. Okay. This one says, "Hi, Macy and Natalie. We found out both your birthdays are close to both my boys' birthdays. My oldest, Xander's, August 30th, and my youngest, Atticus, is September 4th. Piper's birthday is August 30th, and my birthday is September 4th. So that's amazing. So my sister Erica and I thought it would be fun to send you ladies a birthday gift. 2 of the items are spiritual protection items. Happy birthday. Your friends from Washington, Rosie and Erica.
Rosie and Erica.
P.S. Y'all slay. Please don't go bald." That's my favorite. I've told Macy before, that's my favorite thing that people comment. Like, "You're so funny. Please don't go bald." Oh, that's good. What is
okay, it's just telling us the best time to come to Leavenworth is in
Guys.
September, end of September, because they've got little festivals in town.
Oh,
Thank you,
God.
Rosie and Erica.
Yeah.
Like a whole birthday present, a whole birthday trove.
You got an actual
got an actual-
birthday present.
These are our birthday presents.
I'm dead.
This is too much.
I
This
will
is
be
too
wearing
much.
this next. Are we both going to be wearing one next and using
Yes.
our mugs?
Yes, we are. Yes.
We can't do this on the recording again. I can't
No.
cry.
I'm shocked.
Just know we're about to stop this recording and I will cry.
This is
Thank you.
beautiful. Thank you. I cannot wait. I cannot wait to wear this. I cannot wait to put our custom mugs. If you sent us these mugs from Rooster Creations or whatever,
Please.
please let us know who you are. Raising Rooster, Rooster Raising something. Please let us know because What in tarnation?
I love it so much. Thank y'all so much. I just can't believe it.
Y'all are the greatest.
I really can't believe it.
And please leave your name suggestions for our little pet ghosts because what?
Oh,
What?
Okay.
I kind of want to open it up and take it out.
I'm not going to cry on the pod again.
Play with it.
Goodbye. Thank you. We are unworthy.